those of you joining us today, thank you for watching the Woburn Spotlight. I'm your host, Tyler Gates, here to bring you some positivity by talking to those in town making big strides for the greater good. Today I'm very fortunate to have with me Giuseppe Maricino, manager of the Mobile Technologies and Outreach at New Path Inc., a nonprofit here in Woburn. Giuseppe, thank you for joining us today.
Pleasure to be back, Tyler. Thanks for having me.
So we've had you here a couple of times. A cause that I can very easily get behind, New Path. What an organization. We've gotten close over the last couple of years, and I was very excited to talk a little bit about the Walk to Walk.
Absolutely. Well, it's a great cause. So I'm looking forward to being on here today to talk about one of our most significant and our most successful fundraisers.
All right, I'm excited to hear about it. Before we jump too far ahead, I know a little bit about you, but for somebody that hasn't seen past episodes or frankly knows much about New Path, let's start by telling the viewers a little bit about you and where you come from and why you're here to talk to us today.
Great. Well, I'm 28. I've been with New Path for a little over 5 years now. Amazing how time flies by. As you said, I currently work as our manager of mobile technology and outreach. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of different hats, as you know. I do a lot of journalism work. I do a lot of email communications. A little bit of social media work, a lot of troubleshooting with our mobile devices and making sure those run smoothly among all of our teams. And outside of that, I love to write. I like to play golf, and I just like to stay active around my town.
Fantastic. And your journey at New Path. Let's talk a little bit about that, because you didn't start out in the current role that you now have. You've have a little bit of a journey, and you've seen a few different roles in kind of your growth there at New Path.
Yeah, absolutely. I started working direct care at one of our day programs, the Marie Martin Center, in December of 2013, and I had gotten close with a lot of the staff and a lot of the people we support there over the 2.5 years I was there, and then I was presented with an opportunity to help start up a newsletter that we continue to run. It's called the New Path Newswire. We've had about 20 issues run so far.
Oh, great! With
a bunch of different stories profiling a lot of the men and women we support through community initiatives, a day in the life of certain various programs that I've gotten around to spending some time with. And just a lot of things that are happening. With the organization. So it's been a really, really, it's been a good change to see things from the other side. And I've just been thrilled to be with the organization for as long as I have.
That's great. And I really want to highlight one of those points and ask actually a little bit more about it. The newsletter, is this something that is something to be expected weekly, monthly? Is it a case-by-case basis? I wasn't even familiar with the newsletter.
Yeah, it's kind of a case-by-case scenario where I have the opportunity to be exposed to certain stories, or I have what I call tips from different program managers about things that are going on within the company, where somebody recently found a job, or we have a community partnership, or we have someone from the state police. I'll tell you a good example. The state police came by to one of our residential programs in December. We have somebody that organizes a Toys for Tots collection every year, and they've had a partnership with the state police for the past couple of years. So we were out there for the day waiting for the state police to come by, and I had the opportunity to have a friendly chat with the program manager there, and we crafted a really, really neat story out of it that got some press in the Woburn Daily Times. So it's great to have that as an outlet to tell people what's going on.
If somebody like myself, because I am very curious, is that public information? Does that go out to the community itself, or is that more of an internal letter that you guys kind of put out there?
Well, that's a little bit of both. We want our staff to know, but we also want the community at large to understand.
How do we find something like that?
What we're doing? Well, it's on our website.
Okay.
If you visit newpathinc.org and click on the Newswire tab on the top right-hand corner, it will bring you to all of the stories that we've published in our newsletter, but in a more accessible format on the website.
Fantastic. So I had to kind of shift gears and ask a little bit more about that, because that really did pique my interest. Let's kind of change gears and talk a little bit about New Path itself. For people out there that might not know exactly what you do, Want to highlight a few of your programs, some of the things that you guys do on a day-to-day or month-to-month basis, and frankly, kind of what you're about, your mission.
Sure, yeah. So our mission is to make life's journey happier, healthier, more fulfilling for people living with disabilities, and we do that in a myriad of different ways. We have rehabilitation programs where we get our participants out in the community. We have them doing Meals on Wheels. They go on. They go to the park, they go on walks, they just get out and, integrate themselves in the community. We have what we call No Walls groups. That's all community-based, where we have about 4 or 5 groups that are out right now that don't even get any services within the program. They're out in the community most of the day. They're out at the YMCA working out, or they're volunteering at the library or the Salvation Army.
Oh, that's awesome.
And various places like that where they're out, and that's a deeper dive in terms of integrating in the community, where we want them to feel like they're active participants and they're not just there. So we have those programs. We have rehabilitation programs like the Martin Center where I started, and then we have about 20 residential programs and shared living too, which we're starting to get into more and more over the course of the year. So there's a lot of different things going on. So it keeps things interesting.
It definitely does, and I know one of the things I was really taken aback by, and thank you for the invite, was your job camp graduation. I had heard about things about job camp in the past and kind of what you do for the members of those classes. But it was super powerful. Do you mind highlighting a little bit about what they go through and how that integrates them back into the workforce, the working world?
Of course, I'm glad you brought that up. I actually had the opportunity to sit in on a month's worth of classes over the past several weeks, and some of the things that they talk about are looking professional and acting professional, and common interview questions and things like that, where their instructor, Bill Struzzulo, who's a financial consultant and a very, very nice guy, he's very passionate about what he does, but he takes this no-nonsense approach where he makes sure that the participants in the class, they want to learn and that they're paying attention. So, it's important to have, from on the surface with the graduation, that's the end result of all of the hard work they put in. It's 9 months. It's every Friday. It's a 2-3 hour class in the afternoons. That's a big commitment.
It is a big commitment.
So for somebody that wants to go in there and that wants to find a job, that's the perfect program for them. But they have to be dedicated to working hard and making the commitment to better themselves, which, as I saw firsthand, is universal among the dozens of people that attend the class every year.
Mm-hmm. You guys do a magnitude and a variety of things, and it's quite impressive, kind of the scope that you guys have for a reach and all the things that you do for these adults. To do so many important things, it takes fundraising. It takes people getting behind the mission, volunteering, just community support. I know you have come on and talked a little bit about your past events. Do you want to highlight some of the major events that you might have on a yearly basis, maybe even some of the smaller ones that you sprinkle in? And I know we're here to talk about the Walk to Walk today, and so we'll kind of wrap up by talking about that.
Sure. Okay. So, one of our signature events, of course, is the walk, which we'll get to shortly. But another big event that we have is our annual celebration, and that is a time where everybody in the community comes together. We have the people we support, their families come. We have community partners and sponsors. We, of course, invite them. We have we have distinguished guests that come by. We have local officials at on the town and city and state level that come by and participate and are witness to some of the amazing presentations that we have going on between some of our staff and our volunteers. There were a couple of volunteers that we had. One of them notably is Carrie Sullivan, who has become a very active volunteer with one of our No Walls groups. And she delivered a pretty impassioned speech about how a simple request for coffee at a Dunkin' Donuts turned into a partnership
I thought that was the one I was remembering. That was a great presentation, and you could see the emotion that she wore on her face, and if the kids or the young adults and adults appreciated what she had done for them.
Yeah, it's incredible just the work that she's done. That was probably, to me, one of the most empowering ones. All of them were great, but I think just hearing that from an outsider's perspective about, just how a simple request to get a coffee and sit down and just talk for a little bit has turned into a partnership that just continues to grow, and that she's introduced that group to so many different things in the community. They've taken a private tour of Gillette Stadium. They've taken a private tour of the Lynn Courthouse. They've been out to eat a bunch of times. They've just done a whole bunch of things that most people in their lives don't have the opportunity to do. So I think for her to come into their lives has been fantastic, and I'm glad she had the opportunity to present that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a great event. Any other events that we should typically look out for on an annual basis, or any smaller events that you guys foresee coming down the pipeline in maybe 2018, 2019?
Well, the job camp graduation, of course, has become an annual tradition. That typically happens in June, where we have all the participants in the class come down with their families, along with our executive team, and Dan Harrison's always there to give some kind words, and our employment staff. It's just that's a big community effort that's rapidly growing into a pretty popular event with our staff. And then we have a kickball game that we run for the program participants, and I think it's right around the end of July, where they get together they play a nice friendly game of kickball that kind of can get a little competitive at times between our teams from Woburn and Westford. But, it's a great day, and, we have events like that, of course, the annual celebration, and, of course, the walk is the biggest one.
All right, let's talk about the walk then. It's upon us. Fundraising has begun, and it's been scaling over the years. This has very quickly become NewPass pride and joy fundraiser for the year.
Absolutely.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, you are absolutely spot on. I remember back in 2010. Now, I wasn't here in 2010, but this is a big point of emphasis for our message here. When we started in 2010, it was just a handful of New Path staff, and they collectively raised, I think it was $9,500, which to any organization,
phenomenal.
Is
first go about.
Absolutely, it's great. And then since then, it's progressed to a point where last year, for the second time in history, we raised over $100,000. $132,000 we raised last year. 132,000. It's incredible just to see the support and how it's evolved over the now 8 years that we've run it, where we started out at 9,500 and having, dozens of donors. And last year we had over 1,200 people donate.
Wow.
It's incredible.
1,200 came out to support in some form or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. What should we expect day of the walk?
Well, if you're going to be attending, and I would highly encourage that you do, it's a great event. What we have is...
Do we have a date, time, all that
yes,
stuff?
Yes.
Start there.
I'm sorry.
No, I forgot to ask, so let's go.
So it's Saturday, April the 14th.
Okay.
It is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and it's going to be at our headquarters in the great city of Woburn again. We are going to have it's going to be a great day. Hopefully there won't be any more snow on the ground. Hopefully it'll be nice and warm and sunny as it's been.
There will be no snow on the ground.
That's right, yeah.
Yes.
So if you come down, you'll be registered. You'll have plenty of family-friendly things to do. We have games, activities. We have live music. We have a barbecue lunch that the Lions Club is going to be actually cooking up for us this year. So that's
great.
That's very exciting. We have a little presentation, a little award ceremony, and then we go out and walk the track, and we come back, and there's a live concert and lunch, and it's just a great day for the community just to come together, and we get to interact. And
great photo right there.
Yeah,
too.
Of course, I can't forget the mayor was there with us last year, and we hope he's going to be there again this year. And having Mayor Galvin's support has just been tremendous.
Yeah, he's done a lot for the city, and I know he's very passionate about a lot of the nonprofits, especially New Path here in the city.
For sure.
Dan himself, very active in the community in Massachusetts. Why don't we go through a few of these photos and tell us a little bit about what we were looking at and maybe, again, what we can expect if we come out this 2018.
Sure. So this photo here is of one of our fundraising teams. We have a competition between some of our programs. This is some of the staff at our Westford program. They I believe they came in third last year with fundraising. I believe their team raised, I want to say, over $10,000.
Fantastic.
It was a great group of people, and there's a lot of competition that goes on between teams. Like there's Westford, there's our team at New Boston Street, which kind of puts a very strong emphasis on competition and making sure that they don't lose.
Don't doubt that for a second.
It's just great to see. It's just great to see.
We got another one.
Some of our.
And this is at headquarters, correct?
Yes, this is in our. Yep, this is at our headquarters. That is Doreen, one of our residential directors, along with their son and some of her family. So and that's actually a great photo to bring up too, because it also emphasizes the point of, like I said, not only bringing the community together, but I think bringing families together too. That's one of the things that I've noticed since the first time I was part of this event. I've noticed that there's a lot of families that come down, and it's great. It's great to see as a self-proclaimed family man. It's great to see the old school values coming in, where we have a lot of the families coming down and seeing them, and seeing the other side of, we have people that we work with, but we don't know their entire story or their entire family. So it's good to interact with them, and it really brings a real strong community feel, and it brings it's a lot more of a personal connection.
I'm sure you leave the feeling very fulfilled. No.
I do, yes, I do. It's it's a lot of work. As behind the scenes, it's a lot of work to get, to put an event like this together. But
to do an event where you make $9,500 is a lot of work.
I know.
I can't imagine the work that goes into an event at this scope.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work, especially now. But when you see the outpouring of support coming in from the community and donors and teams and everybody that comes down and walks the route, it gives you a sense of pride as not just on an organizational level, but on a personal level too.
Yeah, I'm sure it really does. So we have a couple more photos here, just people commingling and enjoying their time.
Yep, this is some of the members of our residential team, our great residential team. That is Michelle over here. She's one of our residential directors, along with Jewel and Katie and Lisa Hernandez and Lori. They all work in our residential division. Their team finished in second last year.
Oh, great.
So they raised, I believe it was close to $20,000 among their team.
Can't wait to see what they can do this year.
Well, they're already off to a flying start.
Let's talk about that. You guys have been underway for about, 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
2.5
2.5 weeks you've been fundraising. Talk about where you are now compared to, I think it was 2015 that you were talking about. We've almost matched where we're at. Tell me a little bit more.
It's amazing to think about it that we've raised, as of this afternoon, $56,500, which, to put it in perspective, we raised $58,000 in 2015.
That was the statistic I was looking for. Okay, that's quite impressive.
Yeah, and that was over a 6-week period then too. We've raised $56,500 in 2+ weeks. It's just incredible.
That's amazing. So the event itself, there's a lot of ways you could theoretically get involved. If somebody's out there thinking, wow, I want to at least check this out, or I want to know more, they can obviously jump on to newpath.org, check out the newsletter, see what you guys are all about.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to get involved in the walk, I think we were talking, you could sponsor the event. We're really looking for community partnerships to help drive the event forward and actually allow people to come out and have a good time.
Definitely.
We're looking for people to register for the walk. I might add, I registered today to walk.
I did. I saw
Very
that.
simple, very easy to do. There's no excuse. If I can do it, anybody can do it. It took about 15 minutes. It's a great cause, and it's something that, again, I'm very excited to be a part of this year. You're also looking for, if you're not able to walk or you can't make it out to the event due to geography or whatever it may be, you're looking for people to help support the walkers themselves, as well as a lot of people forget the day of volunteering. That is, I know that was something that you said sometimes is overlooked, but is not is a very very much a part of the process that you need to have to make it a successful event. Roundabout way of saying that, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Then there's like as you said, there's so many different ways to get involved. Starting on the community level, we're always looking for always looking for new community partners to get on board with our mission, and just to see what we're about, trying to raise awareness for our cause and our mission and our vision to create a world in which all people with disabilities, not just the people that we support, live a life that's full of dignity, love, and respect. So, it's great that we're expanding our message, and we really want we already have some fabulous support from some of the great businesses and organizations in Woburn, but we're always looking for more people to come on board and to help expand our message, because it's your support that helps us get to where we are.
If somebody saw this and said, I want to know more, I want to have a conversation, a more in-depth conversation, do they reach out to yourself? What would be the next step?
Yeah, they would read. Yeah, you're looking at the next step. They would look out to. They would reach out to me. I could answer any questions that somebody may have on how to get involved. Different levels that we're offering this year. We have 5 different sponsorship levels. You can get in and be a sponsor for as little as $500, or if you wanted to go all the way up, you could sponsor us for $20,000. So,
or more if they want to.
Or more,
yeah,
of course. Yeah,
absolutely.
we're not gonna say no. But all kidding aside, it would be great to have somebody come in. $500 is not. It's not a big commitment for an organization to have their name on our event page or on a T-shirt or whatever. And plus, we had over 300 people attend the walk last year, so it's a great opportunity to get some exposure for your business, especially if it's one that you're just starting out.
That's a very great point. So what's the best way to reach out to Giuseppe?
Feel free to just send me an email. You can reach me at gmarraccino@newpathinc.org.
We'll make sure to throw that up on the TV.
Yes, and just shoot me an email. Just tell me that you saw me on the Woburn Spotlight, and
we'll go from there.
And we'll go from there. I'll give you anything that you need to know, and we'll make it work. We'll find an amount that best suits your budget and what you're looking for, and we'll like I said, we'll make it work.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the walkers themselves. We've kind of touched on the community partner aspect. Last year, how many walkers-ish did you have?
We had over 300.
Over 300 this last year, and are you expecting a similar turnout, or what are the numbers looking like kind of to date?
We're looking at least 300 people this year. We have a lot of people that come on the day of and register.
Okay.
We have a lot of them that also pre-register as well, where all they do is they come by, they pick up their shirt, and they're good to go. But as you said, though, the registration process is very, very seamless, very easy. Doesn't take a lot of your time, and it's a great way to save some time when you get here on that Saturday morning, where you can just go out and socialize with everybody and talk with some different people in the community, and it's a great opportunity, and I know there's a lot of people that are looking forward to it this year. I've talked to a lot of the families that are signed up already, and they're very, very excited to come down.
So once somebody signs up, they can essentially put that information out there to their own natural network and see if this is a cause that some of their family, friends, or individuals that they know could donate as well, or so get behind this similar cause. So I know I was looking at it earlier today, and when you sign up, you almost have like a landing page. Is that fair to say? And it shows you kind of if you're on track to hit your fundraising goal, who's donated, things like that. Do you want to speak to that just a bit?
Yeah, sure. So there's a couple of options that we have. If you want to be a fundraising participant, you can choose to do that, or if you just want to register and be a non-fundraising participant, you can also do that as well. But we encourage one way or the other to, if it's an event that you've been part of for 2, 3, 4 years, and you want to tell. We would encourage that you tell, your friends about it, tell your family about it, because the best thing that we have is by word of mouth. So, we have the website where people can go to when they can, and they can look at what we do. But the best advice that I would give to anybody is just, tell your friends about it, tell your family about it, have them come down. And, like I said, with the annual celebration back in October, it's a good way to get your foot in the door and to see what we're about firsthand.
Good. I know it's going to be an exciting event. And if anyone wants to volunteer, I assume they just reach out to you, your email as well.
Yep. They can also go to newpathinc.org, and we have a little box where you can connect and, express your desire for volunteering.
Okay.
And we'll pass that along to the appropriate people, and just tell them you saw me on here, and we could always use the help.
Okay, that's great to know. So what I'm looking at from 2010 to now, we started out by raising about $9,500. Last year was $132, and it was the second year in a row that you had broken the $100,000 mark. Unbelievable. So Saturday, April 14th, at the headquarters on New Boston Street here in Woburn. It's going to be from 11 to 2. We have lunch by the Lions Club.
Yep.
As well as some nice social activities before and after for families to get out. Am I missing something?
Well, we can't
Can't
forget about the route. Can't forget about the walking route.
Please tell me.
It's going to be about 3/4 of a mile where we're going to start and end at our headquarters, and we're hoping that we have a nice day and it's warm and there's no snow on the ground. And it's a nice leisurely route where we have, where everybody that registers, of course, for the $15 fee, you get a T-shirt, you get a nice commemorative T-shirt, you have access to the route, you have access to the lunch and everything. But having walked the route before, it's very leisurely. You can get to, it's a great community. It's a great thing you can share with your family. And then people take a lot of pictures and they do a lot of silly things as part of their fundraising goals and whatnot. So it's just a great event. And, we've been fortunate to have some great weather, great walking weather. So we're hoping for the same this year.
That's fantastic. I know we're almost out of time. I know I'm excited. I'm just really excited to see everything go off on April 14th, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Do you have anything that you would like to leave our viewers with today? Any words of encouragement or anything about NewPath that you'd like to share before wrapping up?
Yep, sure. So, I think it's important for people it's obviously important for people to register. We want you to come. This is a very, very, very friendly event. I'll probably be there with some silly thing like I usually am every year. So, but no, it's a good opportunity to come down and to see what we're about. You can interact with some of the people we support, hear about their stories. Of course, listening to Dan. He's very energetic. I know he's raring to go behind the scenes. He's ready to go. Like I said, the community support's is a great thing, and just having all of those people come down, it's just a heartwarming thing to see everybody get behind what we're about. It's really fantastic, and we hope that you'll be a part of it this year.
We do. We very much do. So Giuseppe, thank you for coming on and showing your support for your organization. It's always a pleasure to see you and chat with you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Okay?
My pleasure, Tyler. Thank you.
All right. And there you have it. You got to come out April 14th. And thank you for watching today's show with Giuseppe Maricino. Remember, we all have one life to live. Let's all do our part. I'm your host, Tyler Gates. Join us again next time for another episode of the Woburn Spotlight.